Good afternoon and welcome to Jackson Systems. This is Tom Jackson, and I'm excited to spend a few minutes with you today and introduce you to our wireless comfort zoning solution, the WCZ-600. Cutting edge stuff. We're the very first ones in the industry to offer a zoning system that not only has wireless thermostats, but wirelessly controlled dampers. And I'll get into a little bit more detail as we progress through the rest of this video. First off, the wireless comfort zoning panel. You'll notice it's in its nice green case, continuing our green zone line of panels that you're probably familiar with. We have the Z-200, a 2-zone panel, the Z-300, 3-zone panel, the Z-600 is our 6-zone panel, and then the latest addition is our wireless comfort Z-600, 6 zones as well, but wireless thermostats and actuators. You'll also notice in our latest panel, the WCZ-600, we've added what we call the PDM, which stands for Programming Display Module. And this allows you to configure the entire panel as well as see current status and do troubleshooting, all right from a simple interface with a 2-line display. The other really neat thing is that when the cover's on, you'll still be able to see the display. The buttons will be hidden so that the homeowner or building owner doesn't come up and start playing with things. But if there was an issue, they could come up to the display, see what was going on, as well as it'll display your company name and phone number so that they know who to call if there happens to be any issues with the zoning system. So, real excited about this being the very first one in the industry to offer a complete wireless solution. Not only the thermostats, but the dampers themselves. Briefly on the thermostats, we've been selling a very similar thermostat for quite a while now, just a standard wireless thermostat that you could use with a single piece of equipment. This one looks identical, but does work, but it's specific to the wireless comfort zoning panel. It's a 7-day battery-powered thermostat. Nice big display, blue backlight, all the features that you've come to really like in thermostats, they're all in there. And then as far as the dampers go, pretty much our standard dampers that you're used to with the 5-year warranty, heavy-duty construction spiral pipe on the round, real heavy-duty rectangular dampers as well, but you'll notice on the actuators it is a different style actuator. These are wirelessly controlled. In other words, the signal coming from the panel is wirelessly transmitted to each of the dampers. You do need to get 24 volts to power the actuators, but you can get that 24 volts from anywhere, which we believe is a much simpler task than having to run wires all the way back from the panel to the damper. You can just mount a transformer up in the attic or in a crawl space and power a large number of dampers, even from a 40 VA transformer. So that's how the actuators work, and no problem in having multiple actuators per zone. So if you needed 5, 10, 15 actuators per zone, because of how the ductwork's laid out, you address each of the zone dampers with the same number, and they would all communicate in harmony back with the panel itself. So whatever size damper you're going to need, we're going to have those in stock. Next, let's talk a little bit more about some of the features on the panel itself. You'll notice the real small footprint again. Easy design. It does have our new design of cover with the snap-on green anodized cover. Next up, again, we've carried on with a lot of the features that we use in our other line of Green Zone products. First, we double fuse everything. Not only do we fuse our printed circuit board, but we actually fuse the relay contacts between our zone panel and your equipment. That way, if something goes crazy and we get a short, instead of blowing everything up, we just pop a fuse. We've given you a spare fuse in case something does blow. You've got a backup right there. And keeping with our long tradition of keeping it contractor friendly, we give you LEDs that tell you what's going on as well. Not only could you get a lot of this information through the PDM, an easy removal of the cover exposes a large number of LEDs that tell you what's going on. Everything from power to the panel, to the zone dampers, what they're doing, equipment status, which stages are calling for heating or cooling, B terminal. And then we also tell you when we're in test mode, when we're in purge mode, whether or not we've gone out on high limit, gone out low limit. we've talked about the outdoor temperature sensor, whether or not we're calling for emergency heat, and right on down the line. So pretty much anything a technician might need to troubleshoot or just get a current status, he can look at the LEDs or again go through the PDM. So we're real proud about how contractor friendly, even though this is really state-of-the-art cutting edge stuff, we really have focused on the contractor and making it easy for them to install, commission, and then come back and troubleshoot if the case may need. You also notice there's not very many terminals because it's pretty much a wireless system. There's no terminals for thermostats or dampers, so we just have terminals going to our equipment. We can actually do up to 4-stage heat, 2-stage cool, dual fuel heat pump, or single-stage heat cool. So no matter what type of equipment you've got, we're going to be able to control that. Something new we've done with the wireless system is because if all the thermostats were to stop communicating, we wanted to build in a level of additional backup protection. So we have 2 sensors that come with the panel. So every time you order a panel, you're going to get both of these sensors. We have both a discharge air sensor for high and low limit control like you're used to on any zoning system, but we also have a return air system with built-in temperature. So if the temperature starts to fall too low or the temperature gets too high because something wacky happens, this would kick on the equipment. It's a high and low limit. If we go below or above, we would bring on the equipment, make sure pipes don't freeze or we're not going to get the house up to 100 degrees. So both the sensors come with it and can wire in to the return air sensor or the discharge air sensor. And then also if you're doing dual fuel, you can get an outdoor thermostat or an outdoor sensor to do your dual fuel balance points. So there would be a third sensor if you're doing that. We use a 915 megahertz proprietary wireless signal, so you don't have to be concerned at all if the homeowner or building owner has a wireless computer network or cordless phones, whatever the case may be. It's at a frequency and it's a protocol different from anything else out there, so there's no chance of interference. You're probably wondering about what type of distance can you get between the devices. And from the panel to the thermostats or the panel to the dampers, you can get approximately 100 feet. As with anything, wireless has a lot to do with building construction, metal studs, or if you've got stucco, whatever the case may be, different building products affect wireless signals differently. So that's something you need to consider when designing the system. But almost all standard residential, light commercial applications, it's going to work great. You're going to have plenty of distance with 100 feet. We've talked about the additional safety features with the return air sensors. We've talked about fuse protection. Want to make sure. It also has a lot of the features. If you've used our regular Z-600, we've incorporated a lot of those features with things like timeshare option. In other words, if you want to make sure that we don't get locked into heating or cooling because someone's playing with the thermostats, it's got the timeshare option. It's got adjustable minimum run time, adjustable minimum off time, ventilation by zone. So you go up to the thermostat, and if you want, when there's no calls and you want to be in the ventilation mode, you can control which zones actually get ventilation and which don't, just by simply controlling it through the thermostat. There's a purge cycle if you want to have control over the purge cycle. In other words, after all zones are satisfied, what do we do? Do we dump that air into the last zone calling, or do we spread it out across all zones? And if you had a larger home or a commercial facility and you needed multiple wireless comfort Z600s in there, you can actually address the panels themselves with a different number. So you can actually have up to 6 of these in one facility, and you don't have to worry about there being any interference between the panels themselves or their corresponding dampers. So it's a pretty cool deal. You could technically have 6 times 6. You could have 6 panels, and each panel can have up to 6 zones. So you could actually have 36 zones in the facility. Also, something we've added to this for the first time is what we call the DSBK terminal. Probably many of you seen that. That allows you to control the fan and either the furnace or air handler to send it down to low speed to allow better control and better performance out of the equipment. So we're glad to add that this time. And again, it's got all the same warranties, technical support that you've really come to love from Jackson Systems. I think we've got a winner on our hands We've got the product is in stock, and we're real excited. If you don't know or haven't received our latest and greatest catalog, we have a brand new catalog that actually does feature the Wireless Comfort Z600, WCZ-600, as well as many of our other new wireless products, the wireless thermostat, wireless relays, wireless Zone 1, and all of the other products that Jackson Systems is manufacturing and distributing. We will be at the ASHRAE show. If you're seeing this video before the ASHRAE show or the AHR Expo in Las Vegas at booth N5156, we'd love for you to stop by and check it out and learn a little bit more about the Wireless Comfort zoning system. And until next time, we appreciate the opportunity to let you listen to us talk about our new wireless comfort, and thank you very much.